Eleanor knew grief had no timeline, but she didn't expect it to speak back. It had been for months. No goodbye. The silence afterward was unbearable. It was all gone. Eleanor's husband, Michael, couldn't bear the weight of the grief either. 2 months in, he walked out, said he was going to his brother's, never came back. Eleanor, now utterly alone, packed what remained, moved to the countryside. A stone cottage near the woods. Quiet, empty, perfect for mourning. The locals in the nearby village were kind but distant. She didn't mind. All she wanted was to forget. But memory, like ghosts, has a way of following you. It began on her second night, a sound, soft, muffled. At first, she thought it was the wind through the chimney. Then it spoke. "Mama." She sat up, breath caught in her throat. Silence. She checked every room, every shadow, nothing. Convinced it was a dream. Eyes glassy and too wide, her hands trembled as she picked it up. It was familiar, too. Impossible. She hadn't told anyone about that doll. And this one had scratch in the exact same places, and the chin. On the left shoe, where Lily used to bump it against the table. Eleanor carried it inside. Heart pounding, she sat it on the fireplace mantel and stared at it for hours. That night, the voice came again. "Mama, why'd you leave me?" It was on the kitchen table, seated neatly, arms folded, head tilted. She called the local constable. He checked the locks. No sign of break-in. He offered to take the doll. She agreed. The next day, it was back, sitting at the foot of her bed. Desperate, Eleanor began to research. She found nothing. No stories, no local legends, just old files from the library and dusty church records. Stopped a few elderly villagers, but their eyes darkened when she mentioned the doll. One woman whispered, "You're the third." What? The third mother? The others gone now. Always a doll. Always a daughter's voice. Eleanor began recording the nights. On the 5th night, the audio caught something, a faint rustling. "Then, you dropped me in the park. I cried, but you couldn't hear me." Then giggling, then scratching. The recorder shorted out. She started to see Lily dot out the corner of her eye, in mirrors, in puddles. One day the doll stood beside the fridge, arm raised. Eleanor followed to the attic. She hadn't opened it yet. The hatch stuck at first. She used a picture of the doll holding hands with a girl who wasn't Lily. Beneath it, she gave me back. That night, Eleanor cried harder than she had in weeks. She clutched the doll and begged, "Please, if you're here, please, talk to me." Porcelain cracking. "Would you love me, even if I wasn't her?" Eleanor dropped it. Something black spilled out like ash, but thicker. The smell of burning sugar. Then everything went dark. She woke up in her bed. The doll was whole again, sitting, watching. And now, it moved. She'd leave it on one side of the room, cradling Lily's last photograph. She drove to the edge of town, buried it in a metal box, set it ablaze. She stayed to watch it burn to dust. Finally, peace. Finally, peace. 3 days later, the doll returned, clutching a note. "Now you burned me too." That night, the walls bled. Eleanor broke. She screamed, tore at her hair, screamed into the doll's face. "What do you want from me?" The doll blinked, then whispered, "You don't get to forget. You made a wish." Memories crashed back. A memory she had buried. 3 years ago, Lily had nearly drowned. Eleanor had begged on the riverbank. "Take me instead. Take anything. Just bring her back." Lily survived, but something must have listened, something that doesn't forget. Now it had come to collect. Eleanor collapsed to her knees, weeping. I didn't mean it. I didn't know. The doll smiled. You don't have to know. You only have to love. The next morning, the house was empty. No one saw Eleanor again. Only the doll remained placed perfectly on the porch. It still speaks, sometimes in Eleanor's voice, sometimes in Lily's, but lately it's learned a third voice, yours.